Hey, gotta close that door. All right, everyone. Hey, this is Andy. See, I got pants on. This is the pants show, the show where I wear pants. With me, as always, are my hands, left and right hands here. I have, of course, a gun mug. I don't know if you can see it. It's a gun mug kids gave me for Christmas. I have leveled up my game a bit here. I have a nice dark surface, hopefully, so you'll be able, there won't be as much glare. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm planning on, for things not to be as bright so you can actually see the blocks more. So these are attempts of leveling up Jenga. Hope everyone's doing well today. I've been oddly productive today so far. I'm going to start off with my left hand. And we'll see how this goes. I like to start off with my left hand, and I figured out why I want to start off with my non-dominant hand is because I only have so much concentration in my brain, and the left hand is more difficult than with my right hand. And so I want to use as much concentration as I can with my non-dominant hand. In general, when you're thinking about doing, this is what psychologists say and neurologists, if you're going to do something intellectually strenuous, it's better to do it earlier in the day. If you do it earlier in the day when you're mentally, intellectually more acute, then the tougher tasks you will do better. You'll be more proficient at them. I like that. I've been playing around with the light here too, by the way, as you guys can probably see. Maybe warm this up a little bit. That's pretty hot. All right, we'll shut it off. If you can't see, let me know. I can play around with a light. This is a work in progress, of course. I don't know what the world's record is for someone playing Jenga. I wonder if it's hours, if it's days. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want to play Jenga for days. But I'm just curious. I'm going to have to Google that up to search what the longest playing Jenga solo game is. I think this, yeah. You know, if the Stoics had Jenga, if the Stoic philosophers had Jenga back in the day, the Greek and Romans, I think they would have used this as a training exercise, as a way to focus attention. Same thing with the samurai in medieval Japan. You'd have the tea ceremony, you'd have flower arrangement, and then you'd have Jenga, the stacking of blocks. How about that? Hey, James Henry, how you doing? So as you notice, I'm hoping that this dark covering of the table makes the Jenganism. Yes, exactly. I'm hoping that the dark cloth makes the blocks pop better. I've been playing around with a light source here. So I had to bring an Amazon item back. I had to return an Amazon item because it wasn't working. And so I went down to the local Kohl's store, and I got there just when they opened. And I was in and out within 5 minutes. I double masked. I was not the first person in, but the line for the returns was very quick. I don't know what anyone's experience is. Good contrast. Thank you. I thought it would be a better contrast, James. I tell you, have you been outside? Have you been out with people lately? This is the first time I've been with people I don't know, because I was outside waiting for the Kohl's to open, for the store to open. And most of us were outside waiting. There was only like 2 other guys waiting to get into the store on the outside. But there was the outside door and the inside door. And in the middle was this little room, right? The vestibule, maybe. Is that what they call it? And there were a couple of people in there waiting that were not socially distancing. They did have masks on, of course, but they were not socially distancing. And it's like, what in this room that had no ventilation whatsoever. One of the guys who was around my age was there. The earlier, the better. Oh yeah, dude, definitely. I got there maybe about 3 minutes before the store opened, and I was in and out, like I said, within 5 minutes. I was very happy with it all. And I wanted to get this keyboard for my kid back. I wanted to return it before the COVID-19 spiked up. It's spike up here in the States in March because of the UK strain that we've talked about before. Now, this is interesting. I feel like this Jenga can be easily a metaphor for life, can't it, right? I have made a strategic mistake. These 2 blocks I took away on the same side. So I think it's kind of lopsided like this. I don't think it's, oh man. I feel like I'm in my 30s looking back in my life and wondering what I did in my 20s and trying to fix it, trying to make up for lost time. Of course, I'm not in my 30s anymore. But that's what I feel like. You take the wrong blocks out and you're like, what am I going to do? We don't have that's a good question. Do we have an official curfew? I think stores have to be closed at a certain time. I think that they can only go at a certain percentage of capacity. Never underestimate the stupidity of the masses. Yeah, it's it's a hard lift. It's a hard lift. Oh, I got to move my camera up. I don't know if anyone noticed, I have the brain back here from Pinky and the Brain. I just finished watching the newest season that came out on what, Amazon? Netflix, maybe? I forget. Hulu. No, it was on Hulu. So I've had the Brain, this little figurine, for years. And golfing, that's good. That's good. Imaginary God. Is that what we were going to call you? Is that the official imaginary God? I know we moved away from negative God. I have a self-imposed stay-at-home order. Yep. Even with grocery shopping, I don't leave the house. We have everything delivered here. The place that, So this was my first time being with people. Was quite a bit, and being self-imposed stay-at-home order is smart, to tell you the truth. I definitely could go out more, but I don't think it's wise to go out and mingle with people. €95 fine, huh? All right, sure. So that is from what, 11 o'clock in the morning till, 11 o'clock at night till 4 o'clock in the morning? That's not unreasonable. It's an interesting question about how you nudge people, like in terms of public health and public policy, how you nudge people to make behavioral changes, right? I know someone who was a social worker, master's in social work, and one of the strategies, it's called social norms training, social norms theory. An F-18 flying over the house? Wow. Stores are tons of mice. Good to see you. Stores are full. Many restaurants are open. Wow. That is terrifying. Tons of mice. That is terrifying. Oh, 9 o'clock? Okay, thank you. Right, my brain. I'm focused on the Jenga and not on the maths. From 9 o'clock till, that's a reasonable amount of time too. During a pandemic, do you really need to be out unless you work third shift or coming home from second shift? I don't think so. Look at that, huh? Holland. Oh. See, all right. All right, I'm going to pick out this one back here. I have some good news about my kid. My 15-year-old daughter just got accepted into a history AP course, advanced placement history course. So here in the States, she takes this, basically a college level course in high school, and that means she doesn't have to take it again when she's in college. So it'll fill one of her history requirements here when she gets to college. And so that's exciting. She just got accepted, basically, or told she was in for next year. So that means one less class to pay for when she does go to college. How about that? Thinking about making one of those short videos that I do of just all the collapses, all the Jenga tower collapses I've done over the last week. Be a quick, 60-second video, if that. It might be funny. It might be popular. I don't know. I am not unhappy, James Henry, because I am not unhappy. Yeah. I am not unhappy with my kid getting into that AP course. She seems to have a natural liking. She likes history, and so so it's good that she likes something, and it's good that it could actually work in her favor. I don't know about any one of you. I like things. And sometimes I'm even good at things, but they don't always mean career advancement. It might mean personal fulfillment, but it doesn't really mean there's more money in my pocket at the end of the day. So it makes me I feel good when my kid does something well. She likes doing it. And at some point, it may actually financially help her out. Well, that's, James Henry, I think there's some truth in that, brother. There's been there's been studies that show that if you give money to women, they'll spend it on their families. In terms of financial help and assistance. Men, not always the case. Not always the case. Men will spend money like on their families. Oh, see, that's tough. All right, I think I got one back here. Oh, look at that. The problem with having this nice little mat here, this cloth, the downside is that it may not make such a spectacular crash when it falls, when the tower does fall. There we go. And even though I'm exceptionally happy with my kid getting into this AP class, right? AP history class next year. One of the things I'm really happy about as a father, one of my accomplishments is not having religion put its clutches into my kids. I'm glad to have put a wall up, and that my kids weren't brainwashed by faith. I think when I'm 80 years old, or they're on my deathbed or whatever, that'll be one of the more pleasurable thoughts I have. It defies gravity. That's what it does. Look at that. We should do some kind of double-blind study, right? About people praying for the tower to stand up. It would be randomized, so I wouldn't know about it. There'd be people praying to have the towers keep standing, and then we could do a statistical analysis to see if prayer works for Jenga. It's wobbling, and I know it's wobbling. I know it's wobbling. I can see it, but I think that's nice. I think that's nice. So I just started reading Sanjay Gupta's new book about brain health. I've only got like 10 to 15 pages into it so far, but he's got a nice touch. He knows how to write for a general audience. Oh, this is nice right here. You know, I should do some kind of a video about how drinking affects your fine motor responses, right? Your fine motor skills. Andy, sober Andy. Andy with one rum and Coke. Andy with 2 rum and Cokes. I think that would be really entertaining, to tell you the truth. The tower will collapse. The question is when. Cue the dramatic music. Now you could just be saying, Andy, yeah, that's a great idea for a video or for a bit. But is that just another excuse for you to do some drinking? It's like, well, maybe. Oh, look at that. Huh? What I'm actually astounded with is how stable the tower is, even when it wobbles quite a bit. Yeah. That one's loose, but it's not loose enough to pull. I'm gonna have to maneuver myself. Do you have to put 3 blocks in every new layer? Yes, you do. That is one of the hard and fast rules. Well, I can make that happen too, James Henry. I can make that happen too. Well, what would be interesting is the video that compares sober versus drinking versus, you know, alcohol versus non-alcohol fun, if you know what I'm saying. Look at that. So yes, Sons of Mice, 3 layers complete. You cannot. So this top layer here, I can't touch. It has to be 1 layer underneath the complete layer. So I can't take blocks out of here until I have another complete layer on top of it. I hope that makes sense. Let's see, I'm gonna have to. I'm going to be honest with all of you. The only reason why I put on pants these days is for going out of the house like I did earlier today and for this video. Otherwise, it's nothing but pajama pants. Uh-oh. Damn it. So in other Andy news, I'm actually the channel that we are on, that I'm broadcasting from, is actually going to be monetized pretty soon, hopefully. I'm going to have enough hours so I'll be able to make like a few pennies here and there from doing whatever I do. I don't even know what I do on this channel, to tell you the truth. I think most of it's joke. I was joking with my kid yesterday that, you know what I am? I do news, I do funny things, I do Jenga. Maybe I'm just a lifestyle video blogger, right? I'm just a slightly anxious middle-aged man doing things. And the only category this channel really falls into is lifestyle kind of vlogging. Commando. I had this crazy idea. About getting another Jenga, a complete another tower, and I could build one tower on top of the other. That was my crazy idea I had earlier today, is I'm just going to get myself another Jenga game and put it on top and just start off with 2 complete sets on top of each other and see what would happen. I have no idea what would happen. Well, it would be a bigger disaster. That's what would happen. Here we go. All right. So now that this level is complete, I can now use this second level down here. Nope. I will say this: if you have a little bit of fingernails, if you have fingernails that are just long enough, you can get in here and kind of pry one of the blocks out. And sometimes that is effective in freeing a block. Oh, look at that. Not unhappy. No, thanks, James Henry. Yeah, the other channels only focus on religion, and yours discusses a wide variety of subjects. Well, you know, the thing is, I'm pretty cheeky. I'm pretty cheeky with the fact that I feel like I've been able to usurp the algorithm. I've been able to work around the algorithm with my blog. So I still get traffic. I still get a fair amount of traffic. But I don't really neatly fit into any kind of real blogging niche besides just comedy and satire. And that blog does okay for itself. And I think I forget how many hits, how many views I've got last year. I think it's around 3 million, maybe 2.7 million, 2.8 million views on my blog and last year. And I think I was able to do that without the help of did it on my own wiles. And so with this channel here, I'm thinking I can be not failure, not being a complete failure at whatever I'm doing by just being who I am, right? Because the reason why other channels just focus on religion is because that's the first thing they tell you when you're making a YouTube channel, is that you got to find a niche. You got to find a niche. And yeah, that's, you know, my niche is me, basically. That's my niche. Oh, dude, your dad is hospitalized for leukemia? Is it like super late stage leukemia? Has he had it for a while? Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Is it a good hospital that he's at? Just got diagnosed. I'll tell you a true story. My ex-wife's uncle in Scotland, he lived right outside Edinburgh, Burt Island, and they found a huge, I think he's had it for over a year, huh? So my ex-wife's uncle, he had a lump on his neck that he just didn't want to get diagnosed. And he finally, it got so big, he had to get it diagnosed, and it turned out he had leukemia. And last time I heard, he's walking around fine, white cell count through the roof. Sure, that's not uncommon, from what I understand. Yeah, it just comes and hits you, cancer, right? It just, yeah, freaking horrible disease. He's been losing weight all year. Yeah, signs, the traditional signs of having have any cancer. Well, I hope he's getting good care. He's in Portland, Oregon. Well, I would imagine the hospitals in Portland, Oregon are pretty good, right? They must have some pretty good cancer treatment facilities there. Oh! Just when I knew. I felt it. I felt it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. What I'm afraid of is moving out into the country. One of the main, especially when as I'm getting older, I don't want to move into a rural area. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to talk because I'm under the table getting my blocks, because I don't think that's going to be very helpful. One of my concerns about either moving to a really rural area is the healthcare issue, to tell you the truth. I would want to live in an urban area where, it isn't if I get sick, as I'm getting older, it's when. The hospitals are full of COVID patients. Yeah. Some hospitals are really good at containment of COVID. And I would imagine the hospitals have had a chance at this point to be able to get their proper procedures down to make sure COVID doesn't spread in the hospital. How old's your dad, if you don't mind me asking? '83, huh? Yep. Is he a healthy guy overall? I mean, what has he had? Does he have a history of being healthy? I guess that's a better way of me putting it. I'm trying not to trip on my words and say the wrong thing. Stress is a killer. Yeah, you're right about that. It's been going downhill fast for 10 years. That's hard. That's tough. All right. How much? Well, all right. I'm going to do another game. I'm going to do it with my right hand. All right. True enough, James Henry. Wise words. Wise words. All right, here we go. This is, if you're just tuning in, Jenga tower number 2. First tower was done with this hand, lefty. Second tower, done with righty. I guess that's being creative. That's what I'm going to call him. I'm going to be calling him righty, my right hand. See if I can get this more into frame, more into frame, more into frame. Better frame. Here we go. That's not going to work. All right. Thinking I should have some music being played. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about having some music played in the background, but it'd have to be some of that free open source music. But then I don't want it to get maudlin, sentimental, too emotional. And then it's like, well, what kind of music would you be playing, Andy, in the background? It's like, I don't even know. Ta-da! Interesting thing about right-handed and left-handed people. This is what I learned when I was taking an anatomy and physiology class, a brain neural anatomy, a brain anatomy and brain physiology class back in the day, is that the traditional brain map, the localization. In other words, you have certain areas and certain parts of the brain responsible for certain things, like Broca's area, Wernicke's area. These are all like language centers, basically. That is based on right-handed men. So right-handed men, whenever you see like a map of the brain, of the centers, of the brain centers, it's based on right-handed men. Now then, women, from what I understand, have brains that are less localized. They have their brains don't have as much localization as men's brains have. That doesn't mean that it just means that their anatomy and physiology is a bit different. No one knows why. Oh, damn it! I'm just talking too much. That's my problem. Talking too much, Andy. But about brain lateralization. You would think that left-handed men would have brains that are mirror images of right-handed men. That's not true. Left-handed men have similar brains to women in the fact that their brain functions are not as localized. Only 5% of left-handed men have mirror images of right-handed men's brain centralization functions and stuff. So in case, and another thing I remember reading from the literature from like over 30 years ago. Oh, damn it. From another thing that I learned from like over 30 years ago from taking this class is that if a baby or a child under 1 year old, they can actually lose a whole hemisphere. They could lose a whole hemisphere of their brain and they'll be okay. the brain will just rewire itself. So you could have one hemisphere gone, and the child, from what I understand, will grow up with normal intelligence, adaptation, and everything like that. And that's pretty remarkable. All right, so I think I have time to do another one since this last one. Oh, you're left-handed? That's interesting, James. That's interesting. So there's a good chance, I think a 95% chance that you have a more of a diffused, less centralized brain structure than a right-handed guy. Of course, you could be in that 5%, that actually has a really localized brain. But as I'm reading through the Sanjay Gupta book, right, what I am struck with is how little we know about the brain to begin with. You may know about things like livers and kidneys, simpler organs, but in terms of something as complex as the brain, there's still a lot that we don't even know we don't know. I don't know if anyone has seen this video. It's something called the brain helmet. You can find it on you. No, it's the God helmet. The God helmet is a device that researchers developed that can actually create the feeling of divinity, that you are in the presence of a divine being. It's called the God helmet. You can search it up on YouTube. I think they use magnets, possibly, to mess around with your brain waves. And this device, the God helmet, can actually make you feel like you're having a religious experience. That's how weird the brain is. All right, so I'm missing a block. The funny thing, not so funny thing, is that these blocks fly all over the place. All over the place. All over the place. And that's why you don't see me right now working on the. I am working at Jenga. You just can't see me because I'm picking up blocks that flew all over the place. All right. One more tower, left hand. Do I have to move this? Do I have to? No. Maybe. Excuse me. Whenever I cough, I think I have COVID. Am I that kind of, am I that anxious about my health? Not that anxious, but well, I got tendencies, everyone. I've got tendencies. I am aware of my health. That's what I am. All right, I gotta tighten this up before starting. Hey, that reminds me, Andy is actually cheating because we are missing 2 blocks, so we have one less layer to work with. I am not cheating. This is the best. This is the best that I can do with what I have. So you can tell my girlfriend is from a hard science background and math background where things have to be. We've had this discussion so many times, the girlfriend, about perfection being the enemy of the good. Oh, I'm doing my right hand now. I'm sorry. That would explain why evangelicals love to touch people's head. Indeed. So the girlfriend, did you notice this high-tech system I have now? This kind of dark cloth on the table. Pretty cool. It's not as glary. Yep. Well, am I going to throw my kid under the bus on this? I'm going to throw my kid under the bus on this. We had a complete Jenga set, and then my kid lost a block. It's probably somewhere in her room. And she's going back to her mother's house tomorrow, so maybe we can get her to do a hard target search and find that last Jenga block. Right. Before it was really glary, but now I think it makes the blocks pop more. So Paul Kamish sent me a video the other day, yesterday, about Cosmic Skeptic debating Smokey Saint about being a vegan. And I'm like, how did Smokey Saint level up to debate Cosmic Skeptic? They're in two different categories and I'm not just talking about YouTubers, right? Cosmic Skeptic having like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and Smokey Saint having like 500 or 600. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about in terms of the ability to make a coherent sentence. I haven't seen the whole debate. I saw the first half hour or so of it. I'm going to have to see. It's like a 2.5 hour event. The magic is gone. Thanks for that, Andy. Yeah. All right. I'm just cooking. I'm cooking right now. All right. See, the trick is getting this bottom piece. This one here, this is a hack for anyone who is playing at home. Now, this would be cool if you're all playing at home, right? We get everyone. Smokey is an idiot. Yeah, he is an idiot. And how did he get to debate Cosmic Skeptic? It is beyond me, unless Cosmic Skeptic wanted just to kick a puppy. It was crazy. So, hack. I have found that getting this bottom piece here out early before the tower gets too high, far easier to do it early innings. There we go. I'm going to move up the camera a bit. Yeah, he is an atrocious human being, and I like I said, I don't even know how this guy got to debate Cosmic Skeptic. And I don't know how, it is a empirical question to ask. How much do these debates actually change people's opinion? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm sure that there is some kind of peer-reviewed study to show whether or not debates change audience's opinion. In some they do. Let me back up. I know in Oxford-style debates, which are regulated and nicely defined, they take. There's a question with Oxford-style debates. And Smokey is a mutt. He is, yeah. I got a good amount of contempt for him. But for Oxford-style debates, you ask a question of the audience. A yes or no question, basically. And then the debate between two people representing each side. And then after the debate's over, the audience is then given the same question to see if their opinions have changed. And so I guess debates do change hearts and minds, or they can at least. I'd be just curious about how effective they are. You know what would be a fascinating study? Is comparing people's opinions being changed by a debate versus a stand-up set, a comedian. Oh, I saw that. David Hogg is starting a pillow company to compete against the crackhead Mike Lindell. Yeah, that Mike Lindell guy, even what is it, Newsmax? He's even too crazy for Newsmax. How crazy do you have to be? Yeah, humor is powerful. How crazy do you have to be kicked off of Newsmax to have the guy shut your mic off or kick you off? Mike Lindell is a whole different level of nuts. Debates are pointless. People keep quiet not to listen. They keep quiet so they can talk again. Well, from what I've seen of Darth Dawkins, there's a lot of smoke there, but not a lot of fire. There's not a lot of substance. If I was going to talk some smack. Darth Dawkins seems to be that guy, right? In wrestling. Now, I'm not a wrestling fan. I've seen wrestling, though, when I was a kid. And Darth Dawkins seems to be that guy, right, that you bring out, the wrestler that you bring out to get his butt kicked by serious wrestlers, right, by the top guy. So my phone just went off. So yeah, that's how Darth Dawkins and Smokey Saint strike me. They're just these guys, these people that, people use as punching bags, rhetorical punching bags. Now, yeah, I will order his pillows for sure, definitely. See, I can't do it from that angle. I got to get up. So I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm trying to get my hands on a battleship game. I have a clever plan, a cunning plan, as Baldric would say in Blackadder, is I might expand my horizons for doing something like this on the weekend. And I might play Battleship with my girlfriend. And that might be entertaining. Because who doesn't like a good old-fashioned game of Battleship? I haven't played that for years. Last time I played that was with my kids. Well, this is the thing is, right? I mean, there's whether it's Jordan Peterson, I mean, it is. There's just a lot of word salad going on. I don't know if anyone, most people know who Jordan Peterson is at this point, but there's this really fun site called the Jordan Peterson quote generator. I've used for a couple of my posts on my blog. Hilarious. It's kind of like the Deepak Chopra word generator. Just make up word salad that, Peterson or Chopra could have made up on their own. Alan Partridge. British comedian? Nope, that's not going to work. I'll have to look him up. See, that's not going to work. You start pulling it out, and you're like maybe a quarter of an inch. I don't know how many centimeters that is, and then you realize that's not going to work. You try to knock it back in. Steve Coogan. Jordan Peterson is a dumpster fire of word salad. There was I took a class with him back in the day. This is before he blew up back in the 90s. I took a class with Peterson, and I was too young to realize that a lot of what he was saying was wacky. And the stuff that comes that has come out of his mouth about atheism, these tropes about, oh, you know, you say that you don't believe in God, but you're really a Christian anyway. I mean, come on. That's like grade school stuff. Then I actually bought his book, The 12 Rules for Life, and that was just a poorly written, poorly organized book. But you know, when you're popular, guys, when you're popular, everyone, you don't have to work that hard. And that's where Jordan Peterson was in his life. When you're really that popular, you can just phone a lot of stuff in. And especially if you have a cult behind you, if you've been able to build up a cult. Peterson, yeah. Stephen Melano, yeah. You know, the thing is about Peterson, this is what makes him such a tragic character. He does care about people. My personal interactions with Peterson back in the day, he definitely cares about people. He just, you know, it just all went wrong for him. Oh, D'Souza, another stable genius, yeah. Well, who was it? I think it was my favorite person right now, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was on D'Souza's YouTube channel, was it? Or maybe I'm getting my lunatics confused. I think it was her. She went on D'Souza's YouTube channel to defend her crazy by doing her apology tour that she's doing. What I really dislike is the non-apology apologies. I dislike it on a personal level. It's like, really, you can't just make, you know, if you're really sorry for saying crazy things like Jewish space lasers, for an example, then maybe, perhaps, you should just apologize for it. All right, maybe the light. Oh, maybe the light's going to help. That is bright AF over there in the corner. That's not going to help. Let me try something else, lads, guys. Let me try the overhead light, because even I can see it's starting to get kind of dark. Well, that's brighter. Oh, wait a minute. Give me a minute here. This is gripping. I know. This is exactly why you come on the channel to see Andy play around with his lights. All right, maybe that helps a little bit. A little bit more illumination. Oh, that's better. All right. Denying the school. Oh, no, it seems to be okay right now, but thank you, girlfriend. Yeah, that denying the school massacres, and then she was harassing that kid, harassing the teenager about the school shootings. That is just disgusting. That's what it is. It's just disgusting. And how the Republicans in the House just supported her. All right. Yeah. Wobbly. That's the state of this tower. Jenga tower right now is wobbly, officially. All right. Yeah, it's like having, for some people, having a belief in, or having this kind of evangelical belief, it just gives you, or this toxic fundamentalist religious belief, it just gives you a blank check to be mean. It's just a blank check to be mean to people because you have a higher purpose for being mean, right? You have a higher purpose, and that's just madness. Look at that, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the parents can manage their grief. Damn it. I'm too far out. I'm too far out to push it back in. I feel like I'm in a third act of an action movie. If I push it back in, I'm dead. If I pull it out, I'm dead. But maybe I can make it work. I'm going very slowly. This is going to be funny and it's kind of sad because that's my brand of humor. The only physical competition, the only sport competition I ever won was a slow bike race when I was a Cub Scout. I was a Cub Scout for maybe 6 months when I was a kid. And the only thing, there was a bike rodeo, which we got to do like a slalom course and race and all this other stuff. And the only thing I have ever won in terms of a sport award is the slow race, because I was able to ride my bike super, super slow, slower than anybody else. And I didn't get like third place in the slow race. I got like first place. See, now just pushing anything. Oh yeah, well, Rudy and Sydney, man, they're and there are other lawsuits coming for them. There are other organizations looking to sue them, and just the money it takes to fight off the lawsuits, it's going to be a lot of money. Couldn't happen to nicer people if they just, lost everything because of lawsuits. That's some justice gravy I could have all day. See, now this is not going to work either. This is not going to work. All right. Let's see if, oh, look, this one's almost already out. Look at this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Kraken burgers. Indeed. Like, where do they get these these wannabe fascists from? It just shows you, given the opportunity, there's just a bunch of Sydney could go pop. Yeah, right. Nice mice. Nice mice. All right. I don't know. I'm gonna pop up the camera a little bit here. But we got the Trump trial next week, everyone. We got the Trump trial part 2, second impeachment. This time it's personal. And it really is. The only reason why Trump may get convicted is because it is personal. The only reason why Trump might get convicted is because of the fact that Mitch McConnell just had enough and he wants to screw this guy. Yeah. It is unfortunate that Donald J. Trump will not be a witness. I would love it for him to actually be a witness for a second impeachment. That would have been, I don't know what kind of proof would have made me believe in a God, an all-powerful, all-benevolent deity. But Donald Trump standing, being a witness at the trial, I guess you get to see me curse and swear, or hear me curse and swear every once in a while. Well, how about that? What is it? An hour and 5 minutes and 3 towers. Oh, that Bill O'Reilly and Jon Stewart. Yeah, there was stuff that Riley did not put into the finished product. There were excerpts from that where Jon Stewart just took it to him. So there's definitely there were some edited out portions, because it's kind of, just like a lot of people who run their mouth, they can only deal with a if Trump testifies, he'll self-incriminate, he'll be perjured. Yeah, he'll perjure himself. That's how they got Clinton, right? Make him swear under oath, and then they get him for perjury. All right. So what am I doing? I am taking off my glasses so you don't have to see the reflection. Might be doing Battleship over the weekend. If nothing else, I'm doing the morning show Monday through Friday, 9 to 10. Was there other stuff I was going to talk about? Was there anything else? I don't think so. Like I said, the channel is going to be monetized pretty soon, hopefully. I got enough hours. I've had enough, subscribers for a while. So thanks for everyone showing up. Imaginary God, if you're still here, thinking of you, thinking of your dad. Yeah, definitely. Everyone else who've watched, thanks. This is always fun for me. It's always enjoyable. Helps me keep centered. It helps me interact with you while I'm not just running shtick and material like I do during the morning show. So this is nice. It gives me a chance to breathe a bit. All right. So take care, everyone. Be good. I might stream over the weekend, like I said, might be doing some Battleship, might be doing more Jenga. I don't know. Take care. Be strong, everyone.